Oh, I will. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Good morning. I just want to ask, obviously a lot's been made of the starting rotation that you guys have compiled. What have you seen from those guys so far, and what do you think of that group?
Yeah, it's a special group. There's I don't know, there's 7, 8 guys that could be in our opening day rotation, I guess. But yeah, I mean it all starts with Kirsch. He's our number one guy. He's been at it forever, and that's who guys take after is him. So he's kind of setting the table, and then after that you see guys like Price, Bueller, Bauer, Julio, D-May, Tony, I mean, Jimmy Nelson, you name it. We're loaded at the starting rotation, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. Kind of leaning on all those guys.
Obviously hit the ball really hard last year overall. Did you feel like you kind of tapped into something that you kind of just know what you need to do to kind of find the consistency you need at this level?
Um, I don't think I really found any, special something. I think it's just a product of a lot of hard work in the off season, a lot of hard work in the season, and just sticking to what I was doing. Early in the year last year, the numbers weren't good, even though I was hitting the ball hard. I was putting together good at bats. Not striking out. I was walking, but the numbers still weren't good. I could have scrapped what I was doing, but I stuck with it and just kind of trusted the process, and it kind of all evened out eventually. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's continuous work that I put in, and that's what I got to keep doing. You got to keep going and keep working to be successful in this league.
Thank you.
Next question is from Dave Vassay. Go ahead, Dave.
Will, with the league getting back to 162 games, did you make a concerted effort to try to get stronger, to try to endure and catch the majority of games this season?
I mean, every off season you try to get stronger, you try to get into shape, you try to recover from the year before. So that's exactly what I did this year.
It looks like a bee stung you during the off season, Will.
What's that?
Looks like a bee stung you during the off season. It looks to be a considerable difference as far as the strength.
Oh no, same weight as I've been the last 2 years. Feel good, feel ready to go.
What's the biggest thing you've learned about handling this pitching staff, especially with a lot of veterans that know what they want to do?
It's being confident in my opinions and my what fingers I'm putting down. And it's having a reason for what I'm calling and what I see, what I communicate to them, but it's just being confident in it, and they because yeah, it's a veteran staff, they know what they're doing, but same time they run into times where they don't know exactly what they want to do to this certain guy or what to throw. It's just being there and just earning the trust in those situations for when they don't know exactly what they want to do. It's I'm there, Barnsley's there to kind of help guide them through that time.
Since you've been around the staff for a couple of years now, do you have a better feel for different situations and counts and all that of what they're comfortable with?
I mean, yeah, I've definitely learned a whole lot the last few years from them, and you see what they do well, what they don't do well, how they react in certain situations. So yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like I have a better understanding than when I first, got called up and was in big league games with these guys. And that's definitely learned a whole bunch the last couple of years. But yeah, I mean, I'm still learning, and there's still times where I don't know exactly where we want to go. But these guys are so good, you don't have to necessarily be right 100% of the time. They can get away with stuff that in those gray areas, and that's why they're so good.
Thanks, Will.
Next question is from Ron Cervenka. Go ahead, Ron.
Hey, Will. Tim Fedorowicz has been, he's been in the league for quite a while, including 4 years with the Dodgers as AJ's backup. What's it been like working with and getting to know FedEx?
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's in here every day. He's ready to go. He's fun to talk to. He's fun to be around. it was a good clubhouse guy, but you can see, throwing a base is why he's been in the big leagues for a while, taking BP, receiving, blocking, doing all the drill work. You can see why he's been in the league for such a long time and why he's been successful, just because of, the intent he puts in with his work. I try to follow the older guys like him, and, I respect the heck out of him. And yeah, he's been cool to be around so far.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
And well, catchers always say that their first responsibility is to the pitching staff. But since you've had so much offensive success in your 2 years, do you start to think about the responsibility you have or what's expected of you offensively?
I mean, personally, I've always felt responsibility to the team. I think that comes with playing different positions, as a catcher, infielder, coming up, that, I just try to help the team win. And yeah, as a catcher, the most important thing is, your relationship with the pitcher and, the trust between us two. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm trying to help the team win, and, I can do that every night behind the plate, but I can also help out offensively most nights. And, that's how I go about it.
Now that you've established yourself at the big league level, do you have some personal goals that you're shooting for, an all-star team or certain, benchmarks numbers wise?
No, not necessarily. I've had success doing what I've been doing, and I'm going to keep doing that, where, I just try to help the team win. And that's truly who I am. And yeah, you want selfishly all of the accolades and all that comes with it. But, that's, for me, that only comes being a team guy, knowing the situation, knowing what your role is. And, that's what I try to do. And I feel like that brings success with it.
A lot of off-season analysis listed you as a top 5 catcher in baseball now. Do you feel like a top 5 catcher?
Yeah, I mean, personally I do, but I don't know. I've never really compared myself to others. I can control what I can control, and on a baseball field, that's not much. So yeah, I mean, I just try to help the team win and keep going from there, and, do what I can to help us win each given night.
Thank you, Will.
We have time for a couple more. Go ahead, Jorge.
Hey, well, I'm just wondering, as catching behind the plate, you talking about certain pitches being made in certain counts. With this dead ball or deadened ball, I guess, are you curious to see how this might change things both behind the plate and as a hitter?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we won't really know till the season's over. So, how much it really affected the game. I think pitching wise, I don't know how it's gonna. I don't know how it's gonna spec spin rate, all that stuff. The only thing I'm curious about is, just kind of the feel when you barrel up a ball. Is it going to feel softer? It's going to feel like you might have got one, it doesn't go. Who knows? But end of the day, it's a level field for everyone on the field that day using, that ball, and, each team's got to deal with it, and it's going to be what it is. So honestly, we haven't talked about it too much as a team. It's a baseball.